Why is it important to find your ikigai? Because it serves as a compass to move you forward in your next stage of life. Knowing your ikigai or reason for being will form the basis of everything you do from this moment on. The first step to determining your ikigai is to rediscover your strengths or superpowers. Welcome to the Midlife Reinvention Podcast, a podcast helping women in career and life transitions achieve clarity on their next steps so they can transform uncertainty into an energizing next chapter. I'm your host, Kavita, and the founder of It's My Time Now Coaching. If you're wondering what's next in your career or life, you are in the right place. Through solo and guest episodes, you'll gain practical tips, tools, and inspiration to help you uncover blocks, gain confidence, and be, do, and have what you want. I rediscovered myself after the age of 50, and I know you can too. It's my time now to help you do just that. I'm so excited you're here. Let's dive in. Welcome to this episode of the Midlife Reinvention Podcast. In today's mini episode, we're going to build upon previous episodes, which will help you take you up the pyramid of reinvention. What does that mean? If you're wondering what's next, my step-by-step framework called the Pyramid of Reinvention will help you uncover what you need to do to take your next steps with confidence. In today's episode, I will take you through some practical exercises that will help you rediscover your strengths or superpowers. This is the first step into determining your ikigai or reason for being. In today's episode, we will, number 1, identify your strengths, pinpoint 3 tasks or skills that come naturally to you, setting the foundation for growth. Number 2, celebrate your wins. List the coolest aspects of yourself in a quick, insightful exercise that boosts your self-confidence. And number 3, take action. Explore real-world examples and actionable steps to effectively use your superpowers, which will drive you closer to your goals. And don't forget to stay till the end for our Motivational Monday episode, where I highlight an extraordinary woman who discovered her superpower later in life and went on to do some incredible things. Have fun with the exercises in this episode, and I'll see you at the end, and let me know how they resonate with you. Hi, my friend, and welcome to another episode of the Midlife Reinvention Podcast. I hope you're doing really well and are looking forward to a great week. As we start this week, I feel particularly energized in that I feel I have a new focus, and that is one of ease and flow. You may have heard me talk about this in past episodes, but in the past several weeks, I have made a decision to simplify things in my life and to do those things that energize me and create ease and flow, and try to minimize those things that give me stress or increase the catabolic or negative energy in my life. I'd like you to think about that for yourself too. As you embark on this new week, what do you really want to focus on that will create ease and flow for you, and which will help you move towards the direction that you want to focus on? What is your path of least resistance this week? If you're looking for a new job, for example, are you doing those things that are easeful for you, but also help to move the needle forward? For example, how about having conversations with people and networking? Does that feel easeful for you? Or are you focusing on administrative tasks which take up a lot of time but perhaps are not as effective? What gives you that sense of ease and flow? So I'd like you to write down 3 things that you want to focus on this week that you really enjoy and offer the least resistance, and that are also in line with your visions for yourself. Take out your journal, or if you're driving or walking, come back to this later and write down 3 things that you want to focus on this week. For me this week, I will be focusing on having as many conversations with people as possible. My existing clients, my potential new clients, colleagues, podcast guests, and others, because that is what really energizes me and moves the needle forward. I will also be focusing on creating content that I love, and I will focus on my health and my nutrition because I have a vision for myself that I want to work towards. Unless we write our intentions down with clarity, it is really difficult to manifest them. So make it a point to actually schedule time in your calendar for those things that will offer the least resistance for you and do them. So for those of you who don't know me or are tuning in for the first time, I thank you for being here. And for those of you who are regular listeners, I don't take it lightly that you're here. It really means the world to me. And if you enjoy this podcast, please do share it, even to one person. It really helps spread the word out. So, what is the word I'm really trying to spread out? It is really this. If you are confused or unsure, unfulfilled, or unhappy with your current situation, whether that is in your career or other aspects of your life, you have the ability to change it. If you have an inner voice inside of you that is telling you that things need to change, listen to what that voice is saying. If you're unhappy with your current career, do something about it. If your health is not optimal, do something about that. If your relationships are less than ideal, do something about it. It is your time now to take time for yourself to figure out who you are, what you want, and how to get there. Don't ever think it's too late, or you're too old, or you just can't do it because of this and that. Stop making excuses and just do it. I feel strongly about this because I felt what you may be feeling about 7 years ago. I felt lost and confused as I was turning 50 and experiencing many transitions in my career and my health and my relationships. It took me a long time to finally listen to that voice in my head, which was telling me that things really needed to change. I finally decided to do something about it. The reason I'm here telling you this is because I know you can too. I had a very successful corporate career, and while it was comfortable and lucrative, I felt as though there was something more I needed to explore about myself. Through this podcast, I'm sharing exactly what I did to turn my life around and how I help my clients do the same. And you can do it too. So, where do you start? Last time we talked about the Wheel of Life and how this is a great place to start as a foundation for assessing your level of satisfaction in different areas of your life, so you can see exactly what areas you really want to focus on. If you missed the episode, please go back and listen to it first, and then do the exercises. What area did you identify as being the top area in your life that you would like to focus on now? Keep that area in mind as we proceed in this process. In previous episodes, I've also talked about finding your ikigai, which is a Japanese term for reason for being. Now, in the next several episodes, we will break down exactly how to find your ikigai in a step-by-step way. Why is it important to find your ikigai? Because it serves as a compass to move you forward in your next stage of life. Knowing your ikigai, or reason for being, will form the basis of everything you do from this moment on. The first step to determining your ikigai is to rediscover your strengths or superpowers. But what do superpowers really mean? I know that word may sound silly to some, but let's say according to the dictionary, a superpower is a power or the ability, such as the ability to become invisible or to fly, of the kind possessed by superheroes, a superhuman power. We often imagine only superheroes such as Wonder Woman possessing these powers, But what if we really believe that each of us has our own superpowers? If we truly believe that each one of us has our own strengths, our own unique abilities, our own individual talents, we can become superheroes. So, how do we find our superpowers? The first step is to realize that you are enough. Only you possess the combination of talents and skills which make you unique. There is no one in this world with your history, experiences, and environment from which to draw from. You are unique. Remember that, and you can tap into your superpowers. So it's really important to understand what you're good at because, especially now, as you face transitions in your life, by recognizing and celebrating your strengths, your confidence builds. You have accumulated a great wealth of experience and knowledge. And ironically, especially as women, we often do not give ourselves enough credit for the breadth and depth of our existing skills. We sell ourselves short sometimes by not opening our minds to all that we are really good at. Maybe we have been in a career for a long time and we're used to using our skills in a certain area, but other skills we have not tapped into for a long time or ever. I'll give you an example. One of my superpowers is really giving people the space to be heard, listening to them, acknowledging their circumstances, and then responding. I did this extremely well in my previous sales career, where I really listened to the needs of my physician customers, and in turn, the patients whom they served. And I'm still doing this now when I give space to my clients to be heard during our coaching sessions. Our skills and superpowers can be applied in different circumstances and different careers and different professions if we allow ourselves the time and space to recognize what they are. Another example of a skill I didn't even know I had until I started to cultivate it in the last few years is that of interviewing people. I love the discovery, the research, the connection with understanding another person's story and asking them questions which will bring out insights and inspiration for other people. If I hadn't had the courage to embark on my new career, I would have probably never tapped into this particular skill or superpower. And I guess I wouldn't be here today talking to you about this. So I want you to really dig deep and ask yourself some really hard questions now. You have so much to offer the world. Take some time to uncover your true gifts by asking yourself some important questions. I'm going to share these questions here. And again, if you can take out your journal or notebook to go through these exercises, it will really open up so much for you. You can come back to this if you're driving or walking while you're listening to this, but take the time to do this. And I'll put the questions in the show notes so you can refer to them later also. So here are the questions. Number 1, list 3 things or tasks that you are really good at. For example, you could be really good at putting together a financial statement. Think about the things that you're really good at now, not what you maybe were good at 10 or 20 years ago. What tasks come very naturally to you? So that's the first one. The second question, list 3 specific skills or talents that you've developed that make you successful at what you do. So by this, I mean, yes, you may be good at putting together a financial statement, but do you have the talent to interpret it? And has that made you successful? What talents do you have now that have got to where you are today? That's number 2. So the third thing is, and it's a fun exercise, I want you to take a piece of paper out and list the 10 coolest things about you. These can be experiences you've had, for example, running a marathon, skydiving, roles you've played, example, being a parent or sibling or best friend, skills you've learned, such as speaking French fluently. Make a list of everything cool about you, even little ones. Put a timer on for 10 minutes and go. The purpose of these last 3 questions is to celebrate yourself. Have you ever taken the time to really acknowledge and reflect on how great you are? The next exercise is an insightful one in which I'm going to ask you to enlist other people on the answers. So I'd like you to ask 3 to 5 people that you know well or who know you well. Ask them this: what do you think are my superpowers or zone of genius? What topic do you come to me for advice? What do I do that you find of value? Once you've gathered their answers, next ask yourself, is there a common theme in their responses? And do their answers align with your own assessment? And finally, based on the superpowers that you've identified yourself and others have shared with you, ask yourself the following: am I currently using my talents to the best of my ability? And how can I use my talents or superpowers in a different way than I'm doing right now that would get me or make me more energized? Get creative and think about all the things that make you you. It is really interesting to see how others view your superpowers and to really ask yourself if you're using all your talents in a way that makes you energized. Going back to ease and flow, if you do things you're good at and love, it really is the path of least resistance. As an example, when I asked people around me what they thought my superpowers were, there was a surprising common theme around writing, motivating and inspiring others, networking and connecting others. The interesting thing was I realized then I was only using some of my talents in my current career, which was that of researching and selling and teaching. I realized I needed to utilize my talents in writing and inspiring and motivating others and bringing people together and helping others more than I currently was. In these last few years, I've pushed myself repeatedly outside of my comfort zone, and I'm using talents I never knew I had, like podcasting, for example. It's scary at first, but becomes so rewarding and energizing when you use as many talents as you can in what you are doing. Again, as women especially, we often don't acknowledge our strengths, let alone celebrate them. Now I will tell you emphatically that understanding your strengths forms the basis for what you can offer the world moving forward. So have fun with the reflection exercises and questions and take the time to journal the answers, and I'd love to hear if they open up possibilities for you. Be kind to yourself and think about what makes you you and what makes you great. So do make a note of your superpowers, because as we move along in the next episodes, we will build upon this to help you determine your ikigai, or a reason for being. If you have any questions on this or other exercises that follow, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Email me at Kavita at itsmytimenowcoaching.com for a complimentary consultation. There really are 3 options to work with me. One is through one-on-one coaching, where I take you through exactly what I'm discussing here, but in personal coaching sessions. I take you through the pyramid of reinvention to help you figure out what's next for you and help you build the confidence to get there. The second way to work with me is through my independent online course called It's My Time Now. Through comprehensive tools and templates, videos, and exercises, I personally take you through the pyramid of reinvention, and here you can work at your own pace. The third way to work with me is a hybrid way, or hybrid role. If you like to learn at your own pace but need a little bit of guidance, one-on-one guidance along the way, I've got you covered. If you don't know what's right for you, let's have a chat about your particular circumstances and what you're hoping to achieve in this next stage of your life. Again, don't be afraid to reach out to me. It's a no-obligation call. I'm here to help you, to motivate you, and to give you practical guidance on your next steps. And during the call itself, you will have breakthroughs, I promise you. So for the Motivational Monday piece today, I thought I would share an extraordinary woman who discovered her superpower later in life, just like we're trying to do here, and who went on to do some incredible things. You may have heard of Phyllis Diller. Diller was a housewife and mother of 5 who discovered her talent for comedy later in life. She began performing stand-up comedy at the age of 37 after her husband encouraged her to pursue it as a career. Diller became one of the first female stand-up comedians to achieve widespread success, known for her eccentric stage persona and self-depreciating humor. It goes to show you that you can have buried strengths or superpowers that you didn't even know exist, or you can use your existing talents in a way that makes you more energized than ever before. So don't forget to reach out to me with any questions, and if you do feel blocked from moving forward and you just don't know where to begin or what is blocking you, you can also download my free Negative Energy Blocks guide, which is in the show notes. This will give you a glimpse into what may be blocking you from your visions for yourself and methods to eliminate these blocks. Download this PDF in the show notes below. So until next time, my friend, stay well and stay motivated.